when I was doing drafts, I emphasize drafts of Belmont, that, and I actually got in one draft, the idea that it shouldn't be respect for persons at all, but should be respect for autonomy. The reason for that is my inherent suspicion about the word persons, because I don't think anybody knows what it means. So if you say you've got respect for persons, as a philosopher, I thought you were obligated to say what it is that you have respect for. That is to say, what do you understand a person to be? And it was quite clear that the commission was not interested in doing that, but it was also quite clear, more or less by the dictate of Ken Ryan, after we discussed this for this idea that I had for a while, that we're not going further. We had already committed ourselves to respect for persons, and this stuff about the distinction between respect for persons and respect for autonomy was only going to get us into trouble. All right, that was Ken's determination, so that's how it, so to speak, got resolved. I think that was a mistake. I thought it was a mistake at the time because I thought the principle that you could really articulate with some depth would be respect for autonomy. Respect for persons you couldn't, and moreover, it made a muddle out of things because when you were talking about respect for non-autonomous persons, which we did, no problem, right? Basically, the principle that was being invoked as to what you were respecting, what you were obligated to do was the principle of beneficence. So there's a confusion then between these two principles. Suddenly, respect for persons gets turned into beneficence, or to put it another way, you're relying on the principle of beneficence to give moral weight to what you want to do with non-autonomous persons. It was not until after the commission shut down and I got involved, and I forget what project it was, that I began to rethink what was really going on in those discussions when I was arguing for respect for autonomy and the commission was arguing for respect for persons. And the conclusion that I came to is the principle of respect for persons is not so much a moral principle per se as it is, to use today's language, a statement of moral status. What the commission really wanted to say is, it doesn't matter whether you're autonomous or you're non-autonomous, you're still owed respect because you have moral status. That's really what they wanted to say. But nobody came up with that at the time. And in retrospect, I think that's what we should have said. The principle of respect for persons starts out with an assumption that all persons, by virtue of being persons, are owed respect because they have moral status, or all persons have moral status, something like that. They were trying to ensure that that's the case, and that's basically what was going on in principle. It would have been a lot clearer and more direct, I think, had we not done that, which is basically what Jim Childers and I later did in the Principles of Biomedical Ethics, was to turn it around in that fashion. Nonetheless, that's the way Belmont reads, and that's the way I think Belmont will always read. I don't think there will ever be a revision of the Belmont Report.